Don't let anybody lie to you. Being an academic genius, being academically brilliant, and chasing academic validation is the best thing you can do for yourself. Academic success is one of the most guaranteed ways to be successful. Even if you're not the wealthiest, it guarantees you a source of feeding, a source of income, and a source of taking care of yourself and taking care of your family. Throughout this episode, there's going to be some noise because some construction is happening, but I have to make this video. Let me tell you something that nobody likes to admit, and that is that fear is not a sign that you are failing or something like that. Fear is usually proof that you actually care about, whatever you're pursuing. You care about your grades in this instance, you care about your business, you care about that goal that you're chasing, you care about your success and yourself. And if you're not careful, fear will either turn you into an academic weapon or it will quietly ruin your life, and you have to make sure that it's never the second for you, because fear is bound to happen. What matters is how you treat it, because the same fear that can push you to greatness, and usually does, can also paralyze you, can also shrink you, and can make you abandon yourself. That's why today I feel like it's very important that I talk about fear. I'm talking about the kind that creeps in when you want excellence, when you want a first class degree, when you want to win so badly that it starts to even scare you. Those goals start to scare you. They begin to feel like they're unachievable. And yes, I felt that fear deep in my bones, deep in my bone marrow. And honestly, I believe that it's a very important part, an important factor in excellence, in success, in becoming great, in winning, in becoming who you want to be. Hi, my name is Blossom, and I'm here to make sure that you never settle for a life that's less than the life that you deserve. This video is part of my How I Got Into the First Class series. If any of you have been following me, thank you so much for following me this far. And today we're going to be talking about the part that people don't talk about enough, and they usually don't romanticize on social media when we're talking about academic excellence. I'm not talking about the aesthetic kind of fear. I'm not talking about the motivational quote kind of fear. I'm talking about the real gut-wrenching, what if I don't actually make it kind of fear. That real one, the real kind of fear. I feel like there was a point where I was genuinely scared that I wouldn't be able to graduate the first class degree. Yeah, that happened. And it didn't come out of nowhere. I had actually slacked a bit in my 200 level, and suddenly it felt like, my CGPA, I'll never be able to catch up to my goals. And that feeling was terrifying for me at that moment, because before then I had daydreamed so clearly, how life will feel after school. I think I told you guys that in my motivation video, what it would be like to say, I graduated with the first class once I leave school, how opportunities will open up for me, how proud I would feel about myself. And then fear just walked in and said, but what if you don't graduate the first class? What next? What do you do? What does that mean for you? What does that mean for you, Blossom, if you dream so much about this? You see, that question alone, it can destabilize you if you let it. And most times people let it, because a lot of times when you're chasing a goal, it isn't usually at the time when you feel like you're capable or you're worthy of that goal. So when these questions pop up, it usually comes to uncertainty, like, I can't do this. And that leads me to chapter 2. And I would say that the fear didn't just stop at grades, right? I became scared of disappointing my family. I became scared of disappointing people who, believed in me. But I feel like worse than all of that, and the worst of it all, is that I became scared of disappointing my own self. Because of course I mattered the most to me, and this dream was a dream for myself. My family were motivated, but it was mostly for me. And I think that one really hits different for me, because when you're self-aware and you're ambitious and you're trying, failing doesn't just usually feel like a setback. It feels like a betrayal of who you thought that you were becoming and you were going to be. And I won't lie, it started to feel like, I was attaching my worth to the outcome of, the goals that I was chasing. And that can be dangerous, but I can always say that is also human, and it's not something you need to judge yourself for. It happens when you want something so bad. You attach yourself to that goal, to that vision of yourself, the future that you imagine for yourself. It's normal for you to feel disappointed when you don't, achieve it. So sorry for the background noise, I can't help it. Construction is going on. That leads me to chapter 3, which is the part that people don't like to say out loud. And I feel like fear isn't always bad. Yeah, fear can be a good thing. Yeah, it can destroy you, but it can also, activate you. I don't think there's any good thing that anybody has ever achieved that there wasn't fear, doubt, or shame standing behind it. They usually come hand in hand. It's something you have to beat. And there's actually psychology behind this that says that moderate levels of fear and stress can increase focus and performance. It is actually called the Dodson law. I don't know if I pronounced that right. It says that performance improves with arousal up to a point, then crashes when fear becomes overwhelming. And I think that is a key distinction. Fear motivated me a little, it made things feel urgent. It reminded me that, I had something that was worth protecting. So every bad feeling that comes up, everything that, feels like it's not right, that you think overachievers or high achievers don't have, they definitely do, because they're human. But the moment when fear starts to overwhelm you, that is when it becomes self-sabotage, and that's when you should be careful and watch out.
That leads me to chapter 4, which is, where I think the problem is that fear is just the unknown. Fear is not a prophecy. Fear is not intuition. Fear is not reality. Fear is simply the feeling that comes from stepping into the unknown. Like, you don't know what's next. You don't know if you're going to get this thing. You don't know if you're going to achieve this goal, and you are afraid that you're not capable of it. That is why you are scared. So if you are scared, it usually means that you're trying something that matters, something that makes sense and is going to make an impact in the world. And if you're feeling fear right now about your grades, about your future, about your potential, you're not weak. You're simply awake. And that leads me to say that, to mention this one rule. And the rule is that feel your feelings, but don't let them seep into your identity. Every time you feel fear, remember this one rule. Do not let fear rewrite who you are, or who you think you are, or what you believe is possible for you. Never let that happen, because once that happens, you're never going to achieve what you think you're going to achieve. Every high achiever, every person that is making it, every excellent person out there, they were afraid, but they did it afraid. They're still doing it afraid. That leads me to chapter 5, and these are certain things I need you to know. Fear should never make you see yourself as incapable. It should never make you shrink your dreams. It should never make you stop, showing up, or make you abandon your work. The moment that fear starts affecting your perception of yourself, that is when you have to intervene. You have to stand your ground and you have to say, no, that is not who I am. These thoughts, these bad thoughts in my head, they have nothing to do with who I am. They do not define who I am. You don't eliminate fear, you outgrow it through action. So you sitting down and hoping that one day you stop being scared and you start being capable to become the audacious person, the audacious people you see out there who are going for their dreams, who are achieving their goals. You are a joker, because the people who are achieving their goals, they're doing it through the fear. That leads me to the final chapter, which is our practical step-by-step process on how to apply everything I said to you. The first thing you should do while you watch this video is to sit down, take a book, and name the fear. You can even say it out loud. My fear is that I'm scared that I won't make it. Naming fear strips it of its power. The second thing is to separate fear from fact. Fear is emotional, evidence is factual. Ask yourself, what proof do I actually have that I can't do this? The third thing is to let and to use fear as a fuel, not as a driver. Fear can alert you, but discipline should be what drives you every day. The fourth thing is to focus on things you can control, on the controllable. You can't control outcomes, but you can control your effort, you can control your consistency, you can control your preparation, and that is what matters. Control that and focus on that. Next thing is to not let fear define your worth. Your value does not fluctuate with your grades, but your effort should remain non-negotiable, no matter what. No matter what, stay consistent. Make sure you're putting in the same 100% every single day. Sixth thing is to keep working anyway. Confidence is built after action, not before it. Like every high achiever you've seen out there, they didn't know that, they were going to work hard first and see what you're capable of before you start letting fear stop you from achieving what you definitely and most likely are capable of achieving. One thing you need to know is that fear will show up when you're trying to become more. It is inevitable. When you're afraid, you just know that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and you're trying to become more. That's why you're afraid. That doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you're standing at the edge of your growth. You're literally about to win. So make sure you work through the fear, you work despite the fear, and you trust that as long as you keep putting in the work, you will win. You've definitely got this. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm so sorry for the noise, but yeah.